What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 11 of The Rundown. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, Jeff. What's going on, buddy?
What's up?
So what you been up to this week? I don't feel like I talked to you that much.
Not really doing a lot. Just kind of still doing the Destiny grind like usual. Just getting some more stuff done. Yeah, kind of had a little bit of divisiveness between the clans. So
What happened?
Evan and I have moved on. You're probably going to be next.
Whenever I get back to it.
Yeah, whenever you get back on.
I don't think I've turned Destiny on in 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't seen you on doing anything. You've been playing Outer Worlds a lot, mostly, right?
A little bit of that, but to be quite honest with you, it's not even that. So you know Crisis on Infinite Earth's coming up.
Oh, you've been catching up.
So I've had to binge watch 2 seasons of The Arrow and then get caught up on the season that's happening now.
Mm-hmm. I've
had to start watching Batwoman with Ruby Rose, which that's happening now because it's gonna be a 5-series crossover or 5-episode from 5 different series crossover event. So I've had to watch that one. DC Legends of Tomorrow. I've had to go through and make sure that I'm caught up on every single one of them.
There's a lot of cool stuff because I dropped out of it probably a year ago. Mm-hmm. So I've lost touch with a lot of what's going on, but I've seen some of the stuff that they've been talking about, and it's a lot of really neat stuff that's happening. I mean, all the confirmed things that are coming into the Crisis episodes, like all the different Batmans, you got Titans crossing over, a lot of neat stuff. It's really going to be really cool to see Kevin Conroy on screen. Michael Keaton's supposed to be in it. So a lot of neat stuff. Thea is coming back on Arrow, which I think is pretty cool. And then last week's episode, I think, was directed by Katie Cassidy. Like her first kind of branch off onto that. So I don't know. I might get back into it, or might just wait till it all finishes up and then just kind of go back so I can just binge it all and get it out of the way.
Yeah, and that's really all I've been doing is just trying to catch up on all of those shows. Like I said, I was playing Outer World. I started After Party, which is an indie game. Can't remember the company that makes it, but they also made Oxenfree. So essentially, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was at PlayStation's State of the Play not too long ago. And basically what it is it's 2 college students die like 2 days before graduation, and they get to hell, and hell is not anything that they expect it to be. But apparently they find a loophole that shows that they can get out of hell if they can out-party the devil. So you got to beat him in beer pong. You got to out-drink him in shots. You got to beat him in trivia. You got to do all these different things to out-party Satan to get out of hell.
And this is a game?
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to go get that now. I'm downloading it as soon as it's over.
It's super cool, actually. It's really fun. It's very, very colorful, very dark, a lot of adult humor. There was one part in there where it was just like Milo, and I forgot what the girl's name was. I think it was like Lola, Milo and Lola. Milo goes, so what about babies? Like, what about when babies die? I mean, do they come to hell? Like, where do they go? And one of the demons from hell is just like, no, he's like, babies get an express lane because they're selfish, narcissistic, and don't care about nobody but themselves and just want to cry and want all the attention. So you know what? They get the express lane to hell.
Oh, wow. That's intense.
So it's super intense, a lot of adult humor, but it's super fun. It's just a little indie game. It's not really too much to it, but playing that, Outer Worlds, Death Stranding's next week, and then if I'm not mistaken, the week after that's Jedi Fallen Order?
Yes, sir, it is.
Yes, so I'm super excited. I mean, I ain't really been doing much other than watching TV. I finally found a system now to all of my editing, so like I can do what I need to do on Sunday nights, finish it up on Mondays, have it put out there, and then I literally have the whole rest of the week instead of a little bit on Sunday, a little bit on Monday, a little bit on Tuesday, and it's just finally have a system now.
Kind of got into your groove.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I've been doing it for, like I said, this may be episode 11, but with the add-ons for Destiny and the chip video, like I've gotten comfortable and a lot faster with being able to do things now. So, that's and then good. Like every time I do it, like there's always something different with every video. Like I'm always throwing something different in there. So, yeah, that's about it.
Well, it sounds like a pretty productive week, though, for the most part.
For the most part, yeah. You're right.
I mean, trying to balance that whole life with gaming.
Gaming, TV, family, 5-year-old, yes, very much so.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's good to find like a little...
And then like my daddy responsibilities are about to go up to level 10 because the wife's going from 3 12s now to 5 8s, but those are going to be from 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. So,
yeah. So you're going to be doing like taking them to school, picking them up,
Oh, I do all that now.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just instead of only doing it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's now going to be Monday through Friday. So.
I gotcha.
Anything else though? You good? You looking good? You feeling good?
I'm feeling fantastic. I'm starting to really excited about this trip that we're planning. So that's like been on the brain for the last couple weeks.
That lightsaber, man, don't you?
It's not just the lightsaber, man. It's like the all experience. Like you can go down there and spend probably 2 days and just do everything. So what we're talking about is like I'm planning a trip for my birthday in May to go to Galaxy's Edge in Florida to do all the Star Wars-y things that I can. So going down there, building lightsabers, building droids. We're going to drink bantha milk and eat Ronto wraps and do all the fun things and watch the whole Kylo Ren thing and stormtroopers and just anything that you can imagine Star Wars related. I'm going to try to get my hands on while I'm there. Main thing on my brain right now.
Been waiting a long time for it.
Oh, yeah.
To go inside the Millennium Falcon. That's
cool. Yeah, Smuggler's Run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
So, I'm sure you heard Death Stranding's reviews came in.
Yeah, they did.
So, I don't know if you noticed, though, if you look at Metacritic, the reviews are all over the board. Mm-hmm. They have reviews as low as 38 to reviews as high as 100, depending on, which company you look at. But if you look at something, it's funny, though, if you look at, like, IGN America, they gave it, like,
6.8.
I think it was a 6.8 out of 10. But if you look at IGN Italy, they gave it like a 9-something.
They're not the real IGN though. No offense, but like they're.
So, have you seen any gameplay or review on it at all?
I've seen gameplay. I think what the main critique is that it's the mechanic that you used to walk, and I think that's what's kind of really brought the score down. Is just because of what the controls consist of, and nobody still knows what it is. And I don't know if like the people that did the Metacritic score played through the full game or not, but that's what I can mostly tell is what's wrong with the game is just that mechanic. And it's just like it's a balance game while you try to walk.
So I've watched a bunch of review videos on it. I've watched Greg Miller did an hour and a half podcast on the game review and stuff of it. So you're a glorified mailman. That's all you are. You take one packages from one area to the other. And some of those, walks take, an hour. Some take 30 minutes.
And this is all in real time, right?
All in real time. Yes.
Oh,
so, God. And then on the way, you get caught by some bad guys that you have to defend yourself from and not let them damage your stuff and just so on and so forth. Which, yeah, to me, that game does not seem a whole lot of fun at all. But I'm not playing it for the gameplay. I'm playing it for the story because of how much I've enjoyed Hideo Kojima's stories in the past. I mean, if I've got to, walk for 40 hours, that's perfectly fine. But his cutscenes in that game go for as long as 2.5 hours. Jeez. So it's the movie, the game, not the gameplay. It's the movie and the story aspect of why I want to play this game so much. I wish the gameplay was a lot cooler, but if it's not, it's cool. I want to see what the story is because he's already working on the second one, and that way I can actually tell you what the game's about.
Well, I can't wait to hear your review. Now, I just looked up the new Metacritic. Actually has a new score on it. It's actually 84.
Did it go down?
What was it before?
I thought it was 88.
It says 84 right now, and if it went down, then.
Well, it's for a certain type of player. Greg Miller played it, loved it, but then Tim Geddes, who co-hosts with him, said he played it for like 5 hours, and he's like, I'm not picking this game up ever again. So. Do
you want to hear one of the worst reviews on Metacritic?
What?
It's from a guy named Steve Avor. He said, Death Stranding is an irredeemable piece of garbage that should serve as a warning to publishers who give developers carte blanche to create art.
Who is that from?
Some guy named Steve Avor.
From what company?
It doesn't...
Or that might be the company.
Oh, yeah, Steve. Oh, yeah, so SteveAwar.com.
Yeah, that's the
okay,
company.
So, I thought it was like a guy's thing. That's hilarious.
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So, no, I mean, it is. I've watched so much gameplay of it, and you are a glorified mailman. That's all you are, and you carry around a baby so that you can see the darker worlds, or not darker worlds, the enemies, or something along those lines. I will figure it out. But yeah, like I said, I'm just playing for the story, and I'm waiting for the hour-long cutscenes. It's gonna be super fun. Which, I mean, if you played any of the Metal Gear games, the last Metal Gear game that came out, the ending sequence cutscene for that game was 71 minutes long. But that's just how Hideo Kojima is. It's making a movie, but not really a movie inside of a game. Movie inside of a game, I guess, if you're supposed to want to call it.
That's pretty intense, though. Just I don't know. I kind of feel like.
But he's an intense person,
right? That's just. I mean, I love a good long cutscene, but just over an hour and a half of it, a little bit much. Like
I could definitely see that.
But I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully, it's a good game. That's. I mean, all around, not just like the gameplay, but like you said, the story, the movie part of it. Like, hopefully, all of it balances out really well.
But let's jump into some other stories today. Anthem head of live service departs Bioware by Robert Ramsey. It's safe to assume that not many people are working on Anthem right now. The game's had one heck of a rough year, launching all the way back in February to lukewarm reviews and then gradually falling apart in the months that followed. We'd be shocked if it was currently has anything that remotely resembles a healthy user base at this point. And the bad news just keeps coming. Chad Robertson, head of live service at Bioware, and one of the key voices behind Anthem is leaving the developer next week. Robertson has been with the company for 14 years. In a quote from him himself, "This is my last week with Bioware. I've been with the company for 14 years, and I am grateful for everything I've been a part of here. The Austin studio and Bioware are in good hands, and you can expect things ahead." And he wrote on Twitter, "Naturally, we wish Chad all the best in his future endeavors." Robertson's departure comes just 2 and a bit months after the lead producer Ben Irving left the studio. That's not entirely uncommon. Key for members of a development team to leave once a project is no longer requires their input, but in the case of Anthems, it's hard not to be cynical. Honestly, it just feels like we're waiting on the seemingly inevitable word of Anthem's cancellation, although it's difficult to pinpoint when that might happen.
Let's get ready to butcher this thing.
Is this game cursed? Because it seems like nothing good has come out of this game. And I don't mean nothing good from just bad gameplay and shitty reviews and people crapping on it and cancellation of a game. I mean, people are leaving their job that pays their bills.
A lot of them are going to like different developers too, like, which I think is funny. Like, first off, like Mark Darrow was the first one to leave, right? Mm-hmm. And then Ben Irving was after him.
Yeah.
And now Chad Robertson. And these were all the guys that were doing the live streams for updates, like all before launch. So like these were like not only the developers, but like the voices of this game and the faces behind it. Is it cursed? I don't know. Like, this could, I feel like these guys maybe just left a ticking time bomb inside Bioware and we're just like, all right, like, we're out, bye.
Just get out of here before it ruins any more of our career.
Yeah, I think what it is I think they know exactly what was going to happen with that game,
right? And
they're just like, okay, now this is the point that we need to leave. Because, like I said, we've talked about it before. They were rush development, about a year and a half development cycle before they released it. It's noticeable, and I think that they're like, okay, well, this was it. Mm-hmm. We're done. Because I think they know that it's going to be hard for Bioware to come back from this.
Oh, no, it is. And I think rumor has it that they're already in the process of trying to redeem themselves by working on the next Dragon Age, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Which I'm fine without.
It's not my kind of game either. Mm-hmm. But I mean, yet again, the question still sits there. Is there any saving this game?
I mean, sometimes there's just not. I wish there was, because the suits are cool and the gameplay's fun, but there's just nothing to do and nothing to keep me invested, and I don't think there's a rework around it to make it any better.
Do we know where Mr. Chad Robertson is heading?
I didn't read that part. I have no idea, actually. Somewhere better? I don't know. Gearbox? I don't know.
Gearbox.
I don't know. They got it going on pretty well. Rockstar.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
No, because of what the bullshit they fucking fed us with Anthem. No. He's going to be my grocer at Whole Foods now. He's backing up all my shit.
Well, who knows? He might not be going anywhere. He just might be just taking a break and just being a fan and just playing the games now.
I mean, maybe that seems what Mark Darrow's done. He's just kind of focusing on his hobbies and stuff like that. I follow him all on Twitter. Ben Irving's been very quiet. I don't really follow. Like,
still no word from what's his name from PlayStation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Called it.
Number 2, Watch Dogs Legion, Rainbow Six Quarantine, and Gods and Monsters are now next-gen PS5 and Xbox Scarlett games by Matt Perslow. Ubisoft has confirmed that Watch Dogs Legion, Rainbow Six Quarantine, and Gods and Monsters will be released as cross-generation games, meaning they will be on PS4 and PS5, and Xbox One and Xbox Scarlett. The news was announced by CEO Yves don't know.
Work through it. You got it.
Guillemot. In a Q&A session held after Ubisoft's earnings for the first half of 2020 financial year were revealed. I actually watched Greg sit there and pronounce his name last night and thought I was going to remember it. Not only will the games, which were recently delayed from early 2020 slots, be available on PS5 and Xbox Scarlett, but will also take advantage of the new features and hardware offered by the machines. It was also mentioned that in addition to Watch Dogs, Rainbow Six, and Gods and Monsters, there will be a further 2 AAA game released in the same fiscal year. These games have not yet been announced. The 5 titles will be on this generation and next generation of consoles, and this will take full advantage of all the new features that are coming with the machines, which are actually going to be extremely interesting for players, as you'll be able to download new content a lot faster. Players will experience better frame rates, so there's a lot of very good elements in that will come with those new machines. These change of plan puts the 5 games in a similar position to Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which was released on both PS3 and Xbox 360, as well as the PS4 and Xbox One. It was also noted on the earnings call that releasing early on the new generation console is useful despite the small install base, because the user base grows over time and Ubisoft can continue to sell to new users. The call did not reveal when the 5 games will be released, but it seems now that it's more likely to be around the holiday of 2020 mark than the summer months, which potentially a number of titles kept at launch games for one of the consoles. Specific dates remain to be seen, with E3 2020 a likely place that it could revealed alongside the titles of the 2 mystery games. With this happening, do you believe that the PS4 and Xbox One could be overstaying their welcome?
No. I mean, we're in a transition phase. We did the same thing 5 years ago whenever PS4 came out. It's just going from one, like, current gen to next gen. Mm-hmm. And it's just, has it been too long of a wait? Not really. I mean,
for the consoles?
Yeah. Because I mean, we've gotten like upgraded versions of them since they first came out till now. So,
right.
I mean, we had the PS Slim, and then the PS4 Pro, and whatever the other one. And then you had like Xbox One X, Xbox One S. So we've had different options, but it's just a transition phase.
So basically what this is saying is that, okay, these games are going to release, but they're also going to later come out on the PS5 and Xbox Scarlett. Mm-hmm. So is that going to hinder you from getting any of these games early on, or are you just going to wait for them to come out on the new console?
It depends on what game it is and like how invested in that game I am. Like out of those 3, nothing's making me want to be like, oh, wait till or buy it on PS4 now. I'll buy it whenever I get a PS5, and it's like a game that just comes across. Like, I am excited for Watch Dogs Legion, but at the same time, I'm not willing to buy it.
It's not Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order for you.
No, or Marvel's Avengers.
Right.
It's a game that I can wait on, and just so happens if I wait on it, it'll be on a new console. It will perform better, hopefully.
Do you have any idea of what those other 2 AAA games could be?
They didn't even say what developer it was, right? Like, just
no, it's from Ubisoft.
Oh, it is Ubisoft.
Yeah, so Ubisoft made the comment they're going to come out with 5 AAA title games next year.
Assassin's Creed is going to be one of them. Has to be.
Yeah, because we didn't get one last year.
Yeah, and Watch Dogs was supposed to be our filler, and we're not getting it this year. So now we're going a year without anything from Ubisoft except for Breakpoint. Watch
Dogs, Legion, Rainbow Six Quarantine, Gods and Monsters, Assassin's Creed.
Right, because Assassin's Creed's already leaked. So like I think it's like a Vikings thing.
Which they've been wanting for a super long time.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. As long as they don't do it like Odyssey. A lot of people like Odyssey.
I know, they probably are. They're probably going to keep that same RPG element style in it.
It takes away from the story, man. That was the one thing I always loved about Assassin's Creed was the story.
I don't feel like there's enough story in Assassin's Creed anymore. I feel like it just I couldn't wait to get to the next cutscene, and now I feel like there's barely any cutscenes in there at all.
Exactly, and that's why I love every one of them up until Odyssey, or not Odyssey, Origins. Which Origins I like fine. Like it's not bad. It's RPG a little bit, but with like still a lot of storytelling. Or it's just different, like, I don't know, mechanics, I guess, like fighting, like ways to fight.
Right.
But the original ones, 1 through Black Flag, like it was all about the story, you know. You interacted with a lot of historical characters and stuff like that, which I thought was awesome. So hopefully they continue or go back to that at some point. So we got Gods and Monsters. Which that's considered AAA?
It's supposed to be. The only thing I know about Gods and Monsters is it said it like supposed to be geared toward tweens. That's all I have heard about that game.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And then Rainbow Six Quarantine, I saw the trailer for that. I don't remember if it was like E3. I believe it may have been at E3 when I saw that. It looked cool, but I'm not a big Rainbow Six player.
And then Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs. I mean, what else could it be? I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
I'm hoping it's a new IP, not a sequel or an add-on to something. So,
actually, yeah, I would love to see a new IP from them. Something open world, but because that's what they do really well. Who knows? I mean, like something just completely new, like different. I'd be into it.
Speaking of something new, Sony reaches 1 million PlayStation Now subscribers following price drop by Lewis White. Sony has announced that they have reached 1 million PlayStation Now subscribers following the service's recent price drop. Since the company sharply decreased the monthly cost of the video game streaming service, the service has seen an exponential growth from 700,000 subscribers back in August. PlayStation has seen a 40+% growth up to 1 million. The service has also been improved through the addition of new games and features, while PlayStation 3 titles are still exclusivity streaming only. Certain PS4 titles are available for download. Alongside the price cut, PlayStation also introduced the addition of exclusive PlayStation titles to the Surface: God of War, Infamous Second Son, Uncharted 4, and more. PlayStation Now is actually worth a damn. PlayStation Now has become even more attractive due to a global strategic price reduction in the addition of limited time only popular game titles such as God of War, said the senior EVP and CFO. Since starting the service, renewal subscribers have steadily increased, and the total number of subscribers has already exceeded 1 million people as of this month. Sony Interactive Entertainment has revealed that PlayStation Now will be playing a pivotal role in the company's strategy for the next generation. With the company partnering with Microsoft's Azure platform for streaming, it should rival xCloud, especially if the 1 million PlayStation Now subscribers continue to grow. We are getting more confident with the service, and we are really going to start to push it hard this year and the years to follow. I told you so. I told you that is the one thing. If I have to choose one thing that I love from having an Xbox and not being a PlayStation fanboy, it is Xbox Game Pass, because there are so many games that are on there that I can download straight to the console that I don't have to buy, that are there on day one and at an amazing price. And looks what happens when Sony does the exact same thing. It's super awesome. But with that, makes me think, with this, like you said, with this playing a pivotal role in the next generation, does this mean that we could see those free games disappear?
It would all depend on. They could treat it as, how Game Pass does. Like they'll bring certain games to Game Pass when they're on release day. They might do it that way, and then kind of do away with like the monthly free game, I guess. But like bring in a new release instead of something that's a year old. So I could see them making that trade-off.
Would you be okay with that?
Yeah.
Are you subscribed to it, or have you checked it out?
No, I still have too much going on to do that. Yeah. As soon as things settle down in like January, February timeframe, like as far as gaming goes, like I think like that's gonna be when I kind of try it out. Right now, there's just so much stuff I'm doing, as far as game goes. So let it settle down. I'll try it out, and we'll see. But I would be okay with that for sure. So
let me give you a heads up on why I'm subscribed to both of these services. I got rid of all my games.
You sold them all to GameStop for $7, didn't you?
It's $130 for 50 games, but yes. Yes, I did.
You could have probably gotten so much more money on eBay.
I honestly wasn't worried about it. I was just, it's like a meth head, man. I was just looking for a quick fix, But no, it's perfectly fine. I told you a couple of weeks ago or a week or so ago that I was going to go all digital route and get some of those games off of my entertainment center, and it was perfectly fine. Some of those games I hadn't picked up in years. Some of those games I had since I bought the PlayStation 4, like Killzone, Shadowfall, Thief was another one of them, Knack, all those launch titles that I still had just been sitting there that I was never going to play again. Like I said, I can pay the subscription service, $15 a month and download whatever I want to, but I think that's great. I think it's awesome, and I hope like hell that they learn from Xbox Game Pass. Unfortunately, Xbox Game Pass is still better right now. Right now, it's still better.
No, I agree. I mean, they're doing the thing that people want. Like, I don't want to wait a year to play a game for free. You know, if I'm paying how much is Game Pass? $15?
$14.99.
Yes.
But here's the difference though. The difference is Xbox Game Pass for $14.99 a month. You get Xbox Game Pass for PC, because you don't get the same games on both systems.
Gotcha.
And then it also, that $15 also includes your live. So your free games from Xbox, your internet online party chat service as well.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I know, so PlayStation's is $60 a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, technically, yeah, I guess you are getting more on Xbox.
Yeah, because you're paying the $60 a month for PlayStation.
No, that's a year.
For a year.
Yeah.
For that. But then also you have to tally up the total for your PlayStation Plus.
That's what, or are you talking, oh, well, no, the PlayStation Plus, that's what that includes. As long as you have a PlayStation Plus membership, you get those 2 free titles every month.
Yeah, but PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now are 2 separate.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gotcha. Oh, okay. Yeah. I gotcha. Okay.
As to where an Xbox, it's all tallied into one at $14.99 a month.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing it great. I'm not going to argue.
No, I mean, and they are. And like I said, I am going to take his Hiroki Totoki, Totoki, it's a word on it. And hopefully the PS5 generation, something cool happens. I see this being where it could go next, as to where you can still buy the games, but then also at the same time to where we just pay maybe a little bit higher subscription fee a month, and then all the games just come to that service.
Yeah, because that would actually be a good idea.
I mean, whether it's...
Because you pay $60 and you just play the game, like one time, and you can play the game forever, right? Because you own the licensing.
Right.
But if you pay $20 for a subscription to a license, they can just get you out of there. So that, dude, yeah. From a developer, like from a business standpoint, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I would consider that.
No, I would too.
Wow.
Especially if you're just gonna get day one titles like that.
I know exactly what game Ubisoft is gonna make their AAA.
What?
Beyond Good and Evil 2. Completely forgot about that one. They advertised it like a year and a half ago.
Oh, okay, my bad. I was thinking of The Evil Within, Beyond Good and Evil. Okay, I can see
and
that.
They haven't talked about that.
I can see that.
So yeah, I'm thinking outside of the box. That's my call. I'm calling it now.
All right, well, we've got it on record. Number 4, Call of Duty Modern Warfare sales topped 600 million in 3 days. It seemed like Call of Duty Modern Warfare was shaping up to be a high-selling entry than an average for the series leading up to its release, and now it's with the first numbers in from Activision that seem that things have planned out. Modern Warfare has brought in 600 million in sell-through revenue in its first 3 days of launch, a figure that echoes back to the glory days of the series to some extent. With that figure comes to the following states and records that Activision is plugging in a new press release. The 3-day total represents a larger sell-through than any Call of Duty title during the console generation. It's the top-selling premium, so $60 game of 2019. It's the best digital opening in Activision history. It's the best-selling Call of Duty launch on PC ever. It is the most digitally pre-ordered game on PS4 ever. It sold the most digital copies in 3 days on PS4 ever. It has more total hours played and total players than any Call of Duty in 6 years. And they want to point out that the 600 million opening weekend more than doubled the opening of the Joker. While these are impressive numbers for a good chunk of its kind, for corporate speak, for instance, it's not really surprising that it's setting all these digital records as an entire industry shifts towards digital and away from physical copies. I'm also curious about what the top-selling non-premium game of the year would be that would outpace Modern Warfare here, as they're very careful about that wording. Also, these are not at all-time Call of Duty records, as those will likely stay forever in the Modern Warfare 3 Black Ops 2 era of the game. I don't know. I guess I don't really agree with putting it up against a movie that costs like $12 for a ticket as opposed to a game that's like $60.
Right. Well, I think it's because like you get more people going to watch a movie than you do buying a video game. Mm-hmm. So I think that's kind of what they're trying to compare that at. Like the amount of people they have buying the game is comparable to the amount of people that are buying tickets to the movie. Because like, I mean, if a movie does, let's say like Avengers did, 2.9 billion.
Yeah.
Divided by $10-12 a ticket. Mm-hmm. As opposed to like how many million did they do?
600 million.
Divided by 60. I mean, you know what I mean? So like it's I can see the comparison, or at least what they're trying to do.
That corporate speak, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have used the Joker as an example, but I mean, and not that I haven't seen the movie yet, so I have I have no backbone on that, but like I would just use something.
One. If it makes you feel any better.
Well, they're talking about it. Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix are talking about it.
They're making a second one. You know they are.
For what? Man, that's a whole nother podcast. Man. That's a whole nother podcast.
Oh, but go ahead.
Like, yeah, I mean, I would use something like a little bit more, I don't know, like Avengers-y. Like Marvel's, most of their movies make $1 billion.
Spider-Man did, Endgame did,
Infinity War did,
yeah.
Civil War did. I mean,
yeah.
The first Spider-Man did.
So, did you ever play Call of Duty?
Yeah, I played a lot of them.
Played a lot of them.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Call of Duty was at its like height? Like I'd say,
that was
back
like
on like the PS3.
Yeah, that was like Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3, and like that was like the prime time to be playing Call of Duty.
So my question for this is, how much longer do you think Call of Duty has? I mean, it's because if you think about it, it's the same game.
Yeah,
every year.
They just remastered this one, right?
Yes. Not this one. They remastered the one before it.
Oh, so I thought
this is a brand new game,
but it's still using the same guy from the original Modern Warfare. Price?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't play. The only Call of Duty game I've ever played in my life was Advanced Warfare.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I think this is like a little like a remaster.
How much longer do you think Call of Duty has?
I mean, there's always going to be a crowd for it, right?
Maps, it's PvP, it's Call of Duty.
It's the same people that are playing Madden every year.
Mm-hmm.
Same people are playing NBA 2K. They're like, there's a core group of people that are always going to buy your game no matter what. Destiny's got the same thing too. There's always like those schmucks out there, me and you included. I'm the biggest schmuck when it comes to Destiny, I guess. But there's always going to be a core group of people that are going to buy that game no matter what. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna go until it goes, or until it peters out, man. And I feel like it's probably got to get another good 10 years, especially with PS5 and Scarlett coming out. Mm-hmm. I mean, they could completely revamp the whole thing, but that's time will tell on that one.
Speaking of high numbers, the PS4 becomes the second best-selling console ever, almost at the top. Sony has detailed the financial results for the Q2 2019, which is 3 months ended September 30th, and revealed that the PlayStation 4 shipped 2.8 million units worldwide in this time frame. This figure is slightly down from the Q1 2019, where the console shipped 3.2 million units. However, the figure is enough to make the PS4 the second best-selling console of all time. As confirmed in July 2019, the PS4 reached the 100 million units shipped milestone, and combined with the numbers from the Q2 of 2019, that brings the total up to 102.8 million units, edging the PS4 past the performance of the original PlayStation. However, the PlayStation 2 still remains the best-selling console of all time at over 150 million units worldwide.
And we still got like almost a year.
Yeah, we still have about almost another year. Gamers are getting older and older by the day. I don't want to say older and older by the day. Comprehension is getting younger and younger.
That's a good reverse on that one. Yeah, I mean,
kids are comprehending this stuff at a younger and younger and younger age, as to where it's not buying this stuff at a certain age limit anymore now. Do you think it'll surpass the PS2?
Yeah, we still got another year before PS5 comes out. It'll get there. There's like that up and coming people that are starting to make money now that play video games, like the 16, 17-year-old crowd. And if they want to buy their own PS4, they're going to go buy it. that's just going to add more, numbers to that. So I can almost guarantee, because PS4 has outsold PS3, obviously, right? So that's, I feel like once we get more into the next year, we're going to see those numbers for PS4 sales increase.
Don't know if you knew this part or not, but if you look at the top 4 highest selling consoles of all time, they're all Sony.
I can see that.
I believe.
Wait, even over like Nintendo and Super Nintendo? That's crazy.
But I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to look this up. I do think the Xbox comes in at number 5.
The 360 or the original Xbox?
The 360.
Because I know the 360 sold like hotcakes. Things were flying off the shelves. It was hard to find one for a while. So yeah, but I can't believe PlayStation outsold like Super Nintendo and regular Nintendo. And 64. I need stats, man.
I'm getting you stats.
I need stats.
So that top 5 that I was talking about was not considering handheld. So if you think Nintendo, you're considering Nintendo's typically handhelds with DSs and Switches and everything like that. So they're not categorized in that same.
Wait, so how far is that going back though? Because this handhelds didn't. I mean, like other than Game Boy and Game Boy Advance,
Because I mean, if you're talking handhelds, then that would put Nintendo DS.
That would probably be like a number 1, wouldn't it?
2.
So.
Which I think that console definitely overstayed its welcome. But yeah, I mean, like I said, those numbers aren't including handhelds. Those are strictly like consoles.
Yeah, I gotcha.
No.
So like in-house consoles.
Right.
I still can't believe that they outsold like the original Nintendo consoles. So I get like the changing in graphics and stuff, but I don't know, like people pine over that stuff now. Like you saw how quick I was to get that classic, right? And it just sits in my entertainment center. I don't play it. I don't touch it. We're in strange times, man.
No, but I think it's super exciting, and it's definitely mind blowing.
Yeah, I mean, Sony's figured it out, I think.
Yeah, no, I think they figured out a really good algorithm, and they've. Do you think that Sony maybe listens a little bit more than maybe other companies do, or do you think that doesn't even have anything to do with it?
As weird as this is going to sound, I feel like they've already got all their stuff planned that far ahead.
Okay.
Because I mean, like, I don't know, it feels like everything that we ever want in a console it's like, oh well, hey, this is what we're going to do in the next one. Oh, that's what I was wanting anyway. Like
get your frame rates ready.
Right. Well, the PS5 with like the built-in solid state drive, and like haptic feedback and pressure sensitive triggers and stuff like that. Like,
and that AMD processor.
Hey, so I don't know. I feel like they've listened to past feedback and just maybe incorporate it ahead of time. I don't know. That's a hard question because I mean, like they don't talk to people like that. They don't.
Maybe they just secretly listen.
Shit, I don't know. Maybe they're PR dudes on the Sony subreddit or something. And
no, I saw this meme on Facebook earlier today. It was an ad for Google hiring, and it was like, Google is not hiring. No need to apply. We already have all your information.
Exactly. And who uses Google?
Me.
Yeah.
Google.
I was gonna say that's like an Xbox thing, isn't it?
Guess maybe.
I mean, you can't even. I don't think the internet's so hard to use on a PlayStation. So I gotta.
Have you ever used the internet on the PlayStation?
Never. Unless like it when I played what's that game that's free to play
right now?
Warframe. When I was playing Warframe, like you clicked on the thing, it would take you to like their website on the internet. But there's like consciously going into Internet Explorer. I've never done it.
I have.
Oh yeah.
Not for the best reasons, but I have. Not anything like that, but it's
No, Xbox, my PlayStation won't spy on me.
It was more for like there were certain TV shows and or movies that may not have been out yet that I wanted to watch. And there were certain places I could find it.
Oh, you're a current day pirate. Oh, okay. You wouldn't download a car, would you?
Well, that was it. That was the only time I ever used it.
I gotcha. Well, it's not easy to use at all.
Well, I mean, it is now with keyboard and mouse support.
Yeah, but who uses? Do you remember? I know the keyboard adapter that you're talking about for the controller. I cannot use a controller with that thing on there. it is not comfortable.
No. I'm talking about an actual keyboard and mouse support.
Oh, you can do that?
You're talking about the chat pad.
Yeah, that's what the one that slides into the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, so the PlayStation has keyboard and mouse support?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I learned something today. Interesting.
Number 6, PlayStation VUE user service is shutting down in 2020. Time to say goodbye to the PlayStation VUE because the streaming service from Sony will be ending in a few months. Polygon reported Sony's announcement that at the end of January 2020, VUE will shut down on the grounds that there are too many streaming services. You think? John Kodera, the deputy president of Sony Interactive Entertainment, made a statement on the PlayStation blog yesterday announcing this. Over 4 years ago, we made a bold decision to change the rules and revolutionize the traditional TV viewing experience in the U.S. with PlayStation VUE. We set the bar high and sought to innovate and establish industry by delivering a modern TV experience by completely rethinking live and on-demand television. We offered an incredible user experience that allowed viewers to discover and watch content in completely new ways. Today, we are announcing that we will shut down the PlayStation VUE service on January 30th, 2020. Unfortunately, the highly competitive pay TV industry with expensive content and network deals has been slower to change than we expected. Because of this, we have decided to remain focused on our core gaming businesses. As Polygon points out, Sony announcement came 5 days after the information reported on Sony's heavy losses where VUE was concerned and its attempted to find a buyer. Considering that every single channel is working to have its own streaming platform, it's not a surprise that VUE was passed by. Sony unveiled VUE in March of 2015, but within 2 years after its launch, it lost all access to Viacom-owned channels. In 2018, local broadcast station in nearly 24 markets vanished from VUE. Sony says it was not making any changes to VUE services between now and closure in January. Polygon links their fact, which says that the subscribers who remain active with the service will continue to have full access to live on-demand DVR programs on all supported PlayStation VUE devices. Have you ever used PlayStation VUE?
No.
It is the hardest thing to work because on a standard remote to your TV, everything's pretty labeled out on a remote of what that button does.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's your volume or your channels or your numbers or your inputs or, whatever the case may be. But your remote for your PlayStation VUE was your PlayStation 4 remote with 2, 4, 5, 9, including the click buttons on the Joy-Cons, which makes it like 11. Those are 11 buttons right there. So my first problem was I had to memorize what all 11 of these buttons did.
Right, because they all do 3 different functions for one button, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So number 2 was after you figured that out, the only thing that I did like about PlayStation VUE was you could have 4 different things playing at the exact same time.
Dude, no, that's so distracting. That's way too distracting for me.
I mean, if you're watching sports, it's cool, but that was about it.
Right. Oh, the Bills game in this corner and the Falcons game in this corner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, this is probably the smartest move they've made. You're not going to make any money off of this. There's already, Hulu, Netflix, HBO Now, Showtime.
It's not like Microsoft where when you think Microsoft has drilled it in your head for so long that they are not a gaming platform. They are an entertainment platform. Same way when the original Xbox One came out was they did not call it a gaming console. They called it a media console because it hooked up to your surround sound. It hooked up to your cable box. It hooked up to not only your camera, but and it was your gaming system. You could switch back and forth from your cable box to your game from right there within the home screen. So it's not like we're Microsoft's an entertainment console. They're a gaming console, and when you think Sony, you think gaming console. You don't think streaming service.
Right. The thing is, I think they're bowing out at the right time. Because with all the other, how much did you say? It was like $90-something if you subscribe to every subscription service there was.
So far with HBO Max, Showtime, Stars, so on and so forth.
So you're looking at, let's just round it up, $100, right, a month for every streaming. Now, and I'm about to segue so hard. If you keep your Netflix and then you subscribe to your Disney Plus that's coming out,
base or premium?
Premium, because with the premium package you get Disney, Pixar, National Geographic, ESPN 1 and 2, I don't know about the Ocho, but you get 1 and 2, and Hulu, right? Keep all that and your Netflix, you're basically covered, right? Unless you're watching some obscure shit like CW or something, which is free anyway. So I think the best route to take would to be just subscribe, like get your Disney Plus, get your Netflix, and then just cancel everything else, because you're not really going to need anything unless like you're really like about what the movies they put on HBO, like, and they're never good. You know what I mean?
Unless you're the type of person that wants the live TV.
Nobody wants live TV anymore.
I want the cooking channel and HGTV and MTV and all that stuff. I do.
Those shows are on Netflix. Some of them. I mean, you
Live 5 News.
There's an app for that.
No, I don't like being on my phone. No, see, we have
Obviously.
we have Netflix, Hulu. We get free with Spotify. So Netflix, Hulu. We've got Amazon because everybody's got an Amazon subscription.
Right, but see, the thing too is if you buy an Apple product in the next year, you get a free Apple Plus
For a year. Yeah.
for a year.
Mm-hmm. So with Netflix, Hulu, I don't pay for because of Spotify. Amazon, we have YouTube TV, which is like $40 a month, and you get
That's $40 a month for YouTube.
for YouTube TV. Yeah, but you get all of your cable channels.
Okay.
So your, like I said, your MTV, your VH1, your all of your sports channels, your the History Channel, Discovery Channel, IFC, Disney Channel, like all of those channels.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Which, and then like Michelle's a big Grey's Anatomy fan, so she wants to be able to keep up with Grey's Anatomy when it comes on and so on.
All
and so
white
forth.
girls are fans of Grey's
Right.
Anatomy.
So, I mean, you do have those. There's just so many streaming services nowadays.
It is.
It's like I said, you got to have a credit card or you got to have one card for like all of these.
Yeah.
To pay for.
I mean, it's just
Not on top of your gaming subscriptions that are already paying for.
right. Luckily, I just pay me personally, I just pay the $60 for the PlayStation Plus. I'll probably do PlayStation Now eventually, but as of right now, I'm paying $60 a month, and then whatever I pay for the game I want to play. Like,
No, and I think I'm gonna do the exact same thing come tax time. It's just the 1 year for the PlayStation Plus and the 1 year for the Xbox, and then put everything else. I wonder if they'll come out with a yearly option. Could you see the other platforms, whether it's Netflix or Hulu? Could you think at some point they would go to a yearly option?
Probably not. No. I mean, unless there's like some hidden option. I don't know, because like, so if with your HD output to like 4 different screens on Netflix is like $15 a month.
Yeah, that's the one I pay for.
Yeah, so
4 screens and then HDR content.
So right, so like you're looking at like $180 a year. If like that's a lot to pay for one like a year subscription if you're doing it that way. You know what I mean?
You know what I think is so funny is people do this stuff, and they probably don't even realize it, especially older people. They cut the cord from cable to get away from paying all those high prices. But now if they add up all their subscription services they're paying for, it's the same as what the hell they were paying for cable.
Right, yeah, exactly. And to be honest, I did the same thing too. Like I had Hulu, Netflix, HBO Now. I had Showtime for a hot second.
Don't think I ever had that one.
So I mean, like it does add up, but you got to like realize you have to kind of pay attention to which one is putting out the most content, and kind of just go with that one. And that's why I'm really excited about the Star Wars, the Apple Plus product subscription service. I was looking at Star Wars, because it does have so many options on it.
Right.
I mean, it's not just like, oh yeah, cool, you can watch some like Marvel movies and like all of Star Wars, which I'm all about, right? But you still get like Disney movies from the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, 60s.
Oh yeah, I saw the old black and white little Mickey Mouse. I think it's like Mickey Steamboat.
Yeah, the super racist one. Yeah. So.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it.
There's a whole thing about it. So you get all that stuff. You get all the Pixar movies. You get National Geographic. You get ESPN in 1 and 2 if you're into that, and Hulu. And Hulu's putting out it's basically all the stuff that you're watching currently, and they just release the next episode the next day. So to me, overall, like if you just did Disney Plus and Netflix, I think that would kind of like suit your needs for what you consume as far as streaming stuff. But that's just me.
Yeah, I'm excited. All that stuff drops. Well, Apple TV's already dropped, or Apple TV Plus has already dropped. Disney Plus drops.
Disney Plus drops November 11th. The Mandalorian starring Pedro Pascal drops on November 12th. The first episode. I'm more than excited about this movie. I haven't been like excited about a Star Wars movie since like The Force Awakens.
I gotta go through and watch the last couple of Star Wars movies before the new one comes out.
Yeah, I did that the other day. I give them a lot of shit. They're okay.
Quick question.
Answer.
Why am I getting ads for your job on my phone?
Because he has Google AdWords. That's why.
All right. So Sony really believes in their console. Sony files trademarks for PlayStation 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
I saw that the other day. I was like, they are ready for like 20. Somebody's like 2045, like PlayStation 10 or something.
Sony Interactive clearly believes in the power of the PlayStation. That's supposed to say waiting? Mr. James Batchelor from GameIndustry.biz, but you say waning, W-A-N-I-N-G. Waiting as it files trademarks for no less than 5 future consoles. Trademark applications have been submitted for PS6, PS7, PS8, PS9, and PS10 in Japan.
That's good, though.
Naturally, this is not confirmation of any of these machines will exist. Instead, it is likely a trademark security to prevent anyone else from snapping up these brands before PlayStation. In fact, Sony has a history of future-proofing its console strategy this way. In 2006, the same year the PlayStation 3 was released, the platform holder trademarked both PlayStation 4 and 5, which is amusing when you consider the company refused to call it that until earlier this month. I completely understand this.
We're getting the patents out of the way?
Yeah, for one reason and one reason only. So a man buys Fallout 76 subscription domain to criticize Bethesda.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That's so funny.
So it's like I said, it's a smart strategic strategy. And it's cool. It's fun. Hopefully we will. God, can you only imagine what the PS10 will look like?
It's going to be a chip implanted into our head.
Total VR, man.
Yeah.
Total VR.
Ready Player One
type shit. So what Avengers news do you have for us?
Oh, they showed off a 3-minute developer commentary, like little snippet of some more like new gameplay. It's actually more of in-menu type stuff. So they showed off some like Kamala Khan moving around and like her embiggen ability, which was kind of cool. They basically said that you start out the game in a rundown helicarrier, right? And that's your base of operations, and that's where you go to like upgrade your gear and like go to the war table and pick your missions and stuff like that. And it looked really cool. And it seems to me that like when you're inside the helicarrier, you're outside of your, like say if you're Iron Man, you're outside of your Iron Man suit, or if you're Captain America, you're outside of the Captain America suit, which I'm always a huge fan of, like in games like that. And they showed off a lot of the like the upgrade paths and stuff. It's very RPG based. Like you got your common, uncommon, rare, legendary, stuff like that. But it doesn't change the aesthetics of your suit or your costume, right?
Right.
And it shows like what its effect. Like there was a little video, like part of the video was whenever you're picking different stuff like repulsor blasters for Iron Man or his chest beam, it showed like it was underneath the suit, like as a hologram.
Right.
So you could see what you were changing, but it wouldn't affect the suit at all. And they said there's like, I think they pointed out there's 24 suits for Iron Man.
Tony Stark, yeah, he probably had 24 suits. I believe it.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Iron Legion. I mean, so that's 24 costumes for him. There's no telling how many for Thor or Captain America or Hulk or Black Widow. I mean, there's no telling how many we have for each one. But I'm starting to get a lot more confident in this game. A lot more confident. That we were I think that was like I said that when my buddy said that he played it and was like it felt good, and I was like, okay, like that was the last thing I needed. This was like that little. Okay, you're safe. Go ahead and buy it.
So did you read the article from Eurogamer? Latest Marvel Avengers trailer offers clearest explanation of what the game is.
I didn't read the Eurogamer one. No.
From Matt Whale, Square Enix has unveiled a brand new trailer for its upcoming Marvel Avengers game. This article was released on Halloween. Been a whole lot less fuss if they started with this in the first place. Rather than parading a bunch of familiar heroes with weird faces and distractingly different voices about the place, the latest Marvel Avengers trailers gets right down to it and talking through the key mechanics of Crystal Dynamics' developed third-person action romp. As we're hopefully informed of Marvel's Avengers kicks off an A-Day as the costume crime-fighting crew celebrates an opening of the Avengers West Coast headquarters. Skip ahead a bit and it's all gone pear-shaped with the San Francisco in ruins, leading to the disbanding of the team. In their absence, a new organization, Advanced Idea Mechanics, or AIM for short, establishes itself vowing to protect humanity. All of this incidentally features the game's tutorial, which if you missed it, Squared showed it entirely in August. 5 years later, with AIM's robotics AI loose on the streets, Avengers fangirl Kamala Khan, who's also playable in the game, enters the picture vowing to prove her hero's innocence, and that's where the whole thing kicks off in earnest, with players establishing a base for the operations in a decommissioned helicarrier and will be upgraded as the story progresses. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That makes a whole lot more sense to what the game's about now.
Right. I mean, we still
Take
don't know
note, Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, as I say, we still don't know who the main protagonist is, antagonist is. Or like if it's just going to be set in like mostly San Francisco and New York or what's going on. So there's a lot more to find out, but I mean, we still got 7 months before it comes out. So plenty of time to get some more news and some info about it. So
do you have top 3 games that you're waiting on right now? You have Jedi Fallen Order. Mm-hmm. You have Marvel's The Avengers. Do you have a third one?
Cyberpunk.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm really excited about Cyberpunk. But yeah, I mean, as far because like those all come out between now and May, so
right.
Maybe I can slow down during the summer a little bit. I don't know. I mean, there's still gonna be Destiny seasons and stuff that I'll obviously be grinding out, but at some point I need to take a breather. Like I just need to slow down. Like I need one game to just.
It's hard with
play.
games as a service nowadays, and especially with Destiny. And I'll take Destiny as probably the best example because they're one of the probably only games that I can think of that there's a different event going on every week when you turn that game on. Maybe in Warframe, maybe in DC Online, but. Yeah, no, it's super hard. I completely get it.
Yeah, no, Warframe's huge. They're always adding stuff. But I mean, Destiny's events are kind of revolving in a way. It's basically like oh hey, there's Iron Banner with some hot fixes for what you guys are bitching about, or here's like
why they release Iron Banner like 2 or 3 times in a single season.
Yeah, exactly. And then like here's like a festival of whatever. With some hot fixes for the shit you were bitching about.
Are we gonna be making cookies this year and riding in sleighs?
Man, I hope not. Like that was so ridiculous. This year's Festival of the Lost is actually not bad. So basically, like you put on a mask, you go kill shit, you get
the one-eyed mask.
No, like there's like Halloween masks that you can wear, and you go around, you kill shit, they drop candy, you pick it up, and you trade in. You have to get the 5 masks bought, and you have to use chocolate strange coins for those, which you can get from doing just activities around the world or around the galaxy. And then you trade those in for the masks. You get all 5 masks, and then you get to buy the Braytech Wolf something. It's an auto rifle, and it's supposed to be really good. So I'm almost there. I've got like 2 more masks to buy, and then I can get it. But it's a slow grind. Everything in Destiny is a slow grind.
Yeah.
Just because it's long. Evan just got Randy's throwing knife.
Yeah, he sent me a message yesterday.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm almost there. I can taste it.
Yeah,
he's like 86% on one.
He sent me one where he had like 99% left for like medals and enemies defeated, and I was like, just go kill 3 people, you'll be good. Just hush. Last night we did We went on a raid like binger. So we did Scourge of the Past, because like Dolan and I are still both chasing 1,000 Voices and Anarchy. So we did a Scourge of the Past run real quick. Not one Anarchy for anybody. Then we did Crown of Sorrows because one of our other teammates wanted to run that.
Yeah.
And he didn't get the gun he was looking for. Then we were like, all right, we'll just do Last Wish. So with Last Wish, you can fast forward to the boss. And so we killed the boss, switch characters, killed the boss, switch characters, killed the boss. So you get 3 ethereal keys. And those ethereal keys are what you use to open the chest at the very end. So you run it 3 times, get those 3 ethereal keys, and then you just one Queen's Walk, which is the last part. And then you can open up 3 different chests. 6 people, 17 keys, not 1,000 voices dropped. The RNG for raid exotics is ridiculously low.
I believe it.
So that's what we did last night.
All right.
It was exhausting.
All right, buddy. Anything else you want to add?
No, that would be it. That was a pretty good episode there.
Yeah, not bad. I enjoyed it. Give everybody a heads up. Social media will go live this week. I got everything done. Yeah, so those will be in links in all of the podcast services and videos from now on. So, yeah, so I'll give you a heads up on that.
Oh, awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.